which we explaining right now.
Bring it out, Op.
Go ahead.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
All these other nations, they feel comfortable with us calling each other blacks, Hispanics, instead of the children of the Most High. They say, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. Right? They love that you're not operating like a nation. Right? They love that they got you out front of their stores selling 50-cent cigarettes while they making 4-5 grand off your ass a day.
That's right.
They love that. Go ahead.
That the name of Israel.
No, that the name of everybody.
That
God,
the name.
Go ahead.
Salaki. That the name of Israel.
No, that the name of God loves everybody.
That the name of Israel.
So God, Israel is the sons and daughters of God. And you looking at them, not the ones in Tel Aviv.
That's right.
They some imposters. And for real, most of y'all know them white people in Tel Aviv imposters. They not the Israelites.
They know it.
They know it.
Oh, most of y'all know that.
They know it.
Most of y'all already know that who the Israelites are. Go ahead.
You know, they tell you who they tell you they fake by everything that they do.
Right.
They call themselves Jewish.
Right.
They call themselves Israeli.
Right.
We're not supposed to cover our head, but they got a little rice cake over top of their head.
Right.
Covering their head.
Right.
Everything about them tells you they are fake as hell.
The damn curls on the side of their
And
head.
a little
all
Shirley
of that.
Temple curl.
Praying to a wall.
Sucking little babies' penises, talking about it. Man,
All of
these-
that.
Bring it
they-
out,
everything
Rob.
they
Bring
do
it out.
tell you they are fake.
The big thick gear, the thick gear from the caves, the big fur hat,
Right, con.
and the big fur black suits and all of that. That ain't nowhere where you can't wear that in Israel.
Right.
Wailing
Without
wall.
falling out.
God.
Bowing down
The
to that
wailing
wailing
wall,
wall.
all of that. But you know what? The reason why they do that, they call themselves Israeli and Jewish, because these are the people that know that it's going to be a day that they're going to have to answer for that. So they cover their bases. They cover their bases. They're going to tell you, well, we didn't say we was the Jews. We told you we was Jewish. We told you we was Israeli. That's what they're going to do. And let me say something. That's what the precipice of that term hate crime was created for. That's why they created hate crime, because it's going to come a time where they're going to have to pay for the lies that they set out on the earth.
That's
so
right.
now the hate crime and you calling them this, that's why it's stirring up on the internet now. They starting that hate crime, and that type of stuff gonna bring in martial law too, just to protect them. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Go ahead.
You know, a couple of years ago, Benjamin Netanyahu made a statement that those people in Israel were willing to go back to the land that they came from, only if they can take the money and the weapons and the technology that the United States gave them since 1948.
Right.
Now that tells you what he was saying.
That they
not
not
only
from
that
there.
we from there, but we gonna go back as long as y'all give us all that stuff.
That's right. That's right. So they basically said that they'll go back to the Caucasus
The
as long as
cave.
they able to take their
Right,
stuff
back
with
over to where
them.
that black sea is,
Yeah. But
Where
you
they
know what?
came
You know
from.
how that's a lie though? That's a lie because they know that one thing they understand is the judgment.
Oh, no question.
They know that the Most High coming for the end.
That's right.
Right? So they can't, really, I think that's just a lie to, Amalek always lie like that. You know what I'm saying? We'll go back here, just let us get out, and they gonna sneak attack some stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or go in their fortress and go in them caves and build a big fortress where they gonna try to keep everybody away.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? For getting out. So that ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. But go ahead. But and listen, y'all ever read a book? It's called Who is Esau? Or something like that. Who is Esau / Edom? The book is telling a lot of lies about who Jacob, because it's just talking about two factions of the Edomites.
Right.
But when you look at it, it still tells you how they created hate crime.
Right.
In it, it tells you they created the hate crime because they know that people are going to persecute them years to come for the lies and the atrocities they put out on this earth.
Right.
So they created that term hate crime for,
And save themselves.
yeah, to save themselves.
God.
To put on everybody else, but they the main terrorists though.
Right.
Go ahead.
The people have the money and the resources to do the kind of research we can't do.
Right.
So they know these nations that there's going to come a time when all of these nations are going to turn against them.
Right.
Not just black people, but all of the nations around the world are going to turn against them.
That's true.
So they doing that's just a part of them trying to do everything they can to stem the tide
Right.
that they know is coming.
Right.
But it's coming.
You right.
It's like, you know, the Jewish man invented the DNA, so he's skewing and he know who's who.
Yeah, he knows him.
He knows who's who.
Right. You right. So yeah, man. Go ahead. Go ahead and finish that off.
That the name of Israel may be no longer in remembrance.
So that the name of the sons of the Most High, that we won't remember that we the sons and daughter of the Most High. That's why they had to change our name, because when you go back to researching what Israel mean, or Yasha Allah, it mean the children of God.
That's right.
That's exactly what it means. So listen, if you got a nation called the children of God, that's just straight direct. How would you think that if we knew that our name back then meant the children of God? People called us the children of God. That's the children of the Most High.
Right.
That's their God.
Right.
You know, these other nations know that that's our God? Right?
Can't get
Go ahead.
around it.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
And guess what? These other nations, they all together. They all together with one, they consented together. Go ahead, with one consent against you, against us. Go ahead.
They are confederate against thee.
That's the United Nations. Confederate mean League of Nations. What's the League of Nations today that's against the Israelites? The United Nations. Right? And like I said it before, we have no representation in the United Nations. Show me with a nigger flag. Who got the nigger flag? With a black flag, black land. What's the flag? What flag we supposed to have? Who represents us in the United Nations?
That's
that
right.
goes to show you that we still in captivity. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of our people, when they go out and get this money, you want to floss on each other. You niggas know you can't floss on nobody else but your own.
Right.
You go get all of that garbage to come right back in the hood and floss on your own, who ain't got a damn thing.
Right.
That's some twisted bull jive. And all of us guilty of that. All of us guilty of wanting a piece of with the white. That's why he put them shiny things out there for us to play with, because he wants you to come right back in the hood and say, nigga, I got what the white man got. You can't get this. You know what I'm saying?
That's
but
right.
they can get all of that as a nation. Your ass came back in the projects with a damn Lamborghini while your mother's still living in the projects.
Right.
I done seen niggas with $100,000 cars in the projects. Go ahead.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacle, the chief house, the top house of Edom. If it's named the first enemy that came, he's the one that's at the top of the list.
That's right.
He's the one running everything that goes against us. That's why I said the tabernacles of Edom, because he's at the top of the list. He's running the show. Go ahead.
And the Ishmaelites.
The Ishmaelites are you Arabs, right? You Arabs hate the hell out of us too. Go ahead.
Of Moab.
And Moab, you Chinese. The Chinese, listen, the Most High, the Most High been serving up everybody's judgment, including ours. He's making everybody see everybody's judgment. He's making our wicked people a spectacle. He's judging our wicked people online. He's judging Esau online. He's making the world see all this judgment. And everybody bypassing it like it's just natural. Right? But for real, the earth's scared. They won't tell you they scared.
Right. Right.
Because listen, and we don't say this for no joke. This is the truth. Mr. White Man, he invented that abortion. He invented birth control, and it's backfiring on his ass. He can't have children, right? He's killing himself. He's ODing. He's school shooting. He has to in vitro.
Bring it out.
Our women don't have to in vitro. Our women drop babies like damn M&Ms.
Right.
Skittles.
Bring it out. White man got an in vitro on your ass.
Turkey base.
Turkey bacon.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine cracking a bag of M&Ms open and telling that door upside down. That's how our women have children. You know what I'm saying? So the man is panicking like hell, and they talking about by the year 2042 that this junk gonna be overpopulated by our people.
Oh, crazy.
Right? And guess what? We don't do the research on Miss White Woman and her abortion statistics. She got a vicious abortion statistic too. So this thing is backfiring on them, man. The school shootings and all of that. It's a mean junk. Right? That's why they got the Census Bureau on our ass. They got the Census Bureau on us. Right? But they still can't calculate how many of us it is across the earth. Go ahead.
And the Hagarenes. Gabal.
Right, and the Hagarenes are African. Gabal are more African. Go ahead.
And animals.
And listen, this shows you that the Africans, you're not Africans either. This is telling you that the Africans came, they with the other nations to take you down and keep you down too. And the Ammon is the Japanese. Go ahead.
And Amalek.
And Amalek is the so-called fake Jew. Not so-called, but the fake Jews. The ones who call themselves Jewish. Esau's grandson, the chief tribe of Esau. Amalek. And I say it all the time, that's why they don't like nobody calling them kites. The word is not kite. It's Amalekite. So if you call them kites, they don't want you to ask what kite means. So if you go back to that research, they're gonna say his name is Amalekite. They are the Amalekites. They don't want you to trace them back as the grandsons of Esau. That's why they don't like the word kike. Dukes. The Dukes. That's why you got the Prince Charles and all of them, Queen Elizabeth, they are the Dukes of Esau. That's why you got the Dukes of Hazzard. The white man is the only one called himself a Duke.
That's right.
When you go in the Bible, Esau children are the only ones that call themselves Dukes.
That's right.
So these people tell you who they are. While you sitting there arguing, talking about Esau is the Arabs with your dumb ass. Talking about Esau ain't the white man when they telling you who they are. And listen, I watched the Edomite, excuse me from ranting, but I watched the Edomite on YouTube yesterday. And he said, this guy know the truth. He know who Israel and Esau is. He said he went to type some stuff on a comment board dealing with the Israelites and Esau. He said he went to type Edom or Edomites. He said he could never send that comment. He said now YouTube is getting to the point where they not even allow you to type in Edom or Edomites. You can type in Esau or something like that, but when you type in the Edomites or Edom, they trying to stop anybody from typing that in. They not allow you to send in your comment. I'm like, what? And this guy look so-called Jewish. So now, he said we teach hate or we got a false doctrine, but I think that he still teaches that the Edomites are them. See what I'm saying? Because listen, you ain't gonna have no Edomite even discussing that or talking about Edom if they not talking the truth about it. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
Even bringing that situation up that he couldn't put the comment in about Edom, evidently he was putting some truth in about Edom that they wouldn't let him sit. Right?
Go ahead. One time, real short story. One time, me and Yaqataz, brother Yaqataz, shouts out to the brother. Yaqataz, we was out here teaching before the wolf came. We out here teaching, and this Edomite came up. This Edomite knew something. You know, he knew something about what we were teaching. The moment Yaqataz called him an Edomite, he got pissed. He said, I ain't no Edomite. And we was telling him, you are an Edomite. Right. This dude was gonna fight us for calling him an Edomite. This was a pointy nose, potato chip lip, handkerchief head, backwards bike riding Edomite. And he was gonna fight us for calling him an Edomite. And that Edomite knew something. That Edomite knew a little bit, man.
They know who they are. What's that you got there, brother? What you read? What it say, bro? Okay. All right, bro. Take a book. Right.
Oh, okay.
Make sure ain't no rats and cats and dogs in that joint. I see
Chinese
cookbook. Don't, hey, listen. That's right. Don't add no rats and cats and dogs and none of that. You know what I'm saying? Deal with the vegetables and the rice up in that joint.
Don't follow the instructions to the T. Don't follow the instructions to the T.
Go ahead. Go ahead. The Hagarenes.
The Philistines.
The Philistines is the ancient Africans. Remember David and Goliath?
Khan.
Them Philistines, they not the Palestinians there today. Right? Them Palestinians there today, they Ottoman Turks. They not even the original Philistines. The Philistines was Canaanites. They was African, very dark-skinned Canaanites. As a matter of fact, you know Matumbo or Manubo.
Right. Yeah.
That's who the Philistines, that's who Goliath was. That's right. That's who the Philistines are. Go ahead. Those are ancient Philistines right there. Manubo and Matumbo.
Right.
That's what you call a Philistine. Go ahead.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Tyre, some more Hamites, Africans. Go ahead.
Ashur.
Ashur is Assyria. Right? Those are Persians. Right? Go ahead.
Also join with them. They have helping the children of Lot.
The children of Lot is Ammon and Moab, the Japanese and Chinese. So it said the Persians helped the Japanese and Chinese.
Inbred.
Right? Go ahead.
Salah.
Selah, which means pause. Go ahead.
Do unto them.
Do what?
Do unto them.
So listen, David and we are asking the Most High to do what?
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
That's right. The Most High wiped the Midianites out.
That's right.
So we asking the Most High for all of these other nations and our adversaries that came against us to destroy us. We asking them to do what?
Do to them. Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
That's right. We asking the Most High to wipe our enemies out.
Esau, Edom.
Edom,
Esau.
Edom, and all the other ones. Edom, Ammon, Moab, Ham,
All of them.
Esau,
Cush, all of them.
Jacob, I love.
There
you go.
There you go, brother. There you go. Brother on point. Go ahead.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera. Go ahead.
As to Jabin.
Jabin.
At the brook of Kissing.
The
Yes,
most.
Lord.
Listen, David is asking them to take them down everywhere they at. Go ahead.
Which purged at Endor. They became as dung.
They became as what?
They became as dung.
Because guess what? When the Most High
Doo-doo.
finished with you other nations, you're going to be like doo-doo under our feet.
Right.
We're going to walk on you like doo-doo under our feet.
Waste. Wow.
Just because of your tactics, we're going to walk over you like doo-doo. That's right. You're going to be like dung under our feet. Just like for the past 400 years, we've been doo-doo under your feet.
God said, Esau, I hate
The black man been doo-doo under all these other nations' feet.
That's right.
They walking over top of us like we doo-doo.
That's right.
All these other nations. Go ahead.
Make their nobles like orb.
Make their nobles like nothing. Bring their nobles, their smart men, their powerful men down. Go ahead.
And like Zeb. Yea, all their princes as Zabal.
That's right. Destroy all their princes.
Right.
Bring them down to the ground like doo-doo. Go ahead.
And as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God.
Let us do what?
Let us take to ourselves the houses of God.
That's what the other nations said. Let us take to ourselves the houses of God. The houses of God is the 12 tribes of Israel. That's who the houses of God is. That's why these other nations, when they in your neighborhood over top of you, they have taken the houses of God. When they selling you poison, they have taken the houses of God. When they set up a church system to keep you down, they have taken the houses of God.
That's right.
Telling you damn Muhammad was the prophet and he was a white man, they have taken the houses of God. Muhammad wasn't even damn Arab. You better go do the research in the hadiths. You better go do some of that research about Muhammad. And this ain't no slander. Do your own research. I put it out there, do your research. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Make them like a wheel.
Make them what?
Make them like a wheel.
Go ahead.
As the stubble before the wind.
That's right. Make them like a wheel as the stubble before the wind. You know what stubble is? It's the ash. When you burn charcoal or when you burn like dry brush. Dry, you know how you burn dry brush in that ash? That's stubble. Make them like the wheel. Make them blow in the wind like stubble, like dry ash. Go ahead.
As the fire burneth a wood.
There you go. Go ahead.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So guess what? We asking the Most High. The mountains mean governments. The mountains mean governments or nations, powerful nations. Right? Give me that. You got it.
The book of Psalms, chapter 68 and verse 22.
Right.
The Lord said, I will bring again from Bashan. I will bring my people again from the depths of the sea.
Guess what? The Most High said he's going to bring us from the four corners of the earth. Give me Deuteronomy 32:26. Let me show you why he said he's going to bring us from the four corners of the earth. Listen, the Jewish man don't have to be saved and brung from the four corners of the earth. He runs the earth. Right. He got all the money. Right. He runs the military. He owns America.
Yes.
So why the Jewish man need to be bought? Why God need to save the Jewish man from the four corners of the earth? Go ahead. Deuteronomy 32:26.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 in verse 26.
Right?
I said, I would scatter them into corners.
So God said he's going to scatter you so-called blacks, you so-called Hispanics, you so-called Native American Indians, you brothers and sisters scattered throughout the four corners of the earth through the slave trade. Amen. God said he's going to scatter you through corners. Go ahead.
I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
We was just talking about how the enemies came together and cut us off from being a nation. God put that spirit on him to do that. Amen. He was going to do what? He's going to make the memory what?
I would make the remembrance of them cease among all men.
So guess what? The remembrance of us being God's children, the remembrance of our name being the Israelites, our laws, our customs, our constitution, he made that cease from among men. He made us stop promoting and living that. Go ahead.
Were it not that I fear the wrath of the enemy.
Where it's not that we fear the wrath of the enemy. We just was talking about the wrath of the enemy. Being in cahoots, shutting us down. Go ahead.
Lest their adversaries should behave themselves strangely.
That's how they did. They cut us off from being a nation. Our adversaries behaved themselves strangely.
God will kill you.
Right? The Most High, listen, the Most High sent us into a situation and he explaining it right here. Go ahead,
The book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 22.
Right.
The Lord said, I will bring again from
our foot in the blood of our enemies.
Right. He said, Jacob, I love Esau, I hate
Give me Numbers 35:33. We're going to dip our foot in the blood of our enemies.
Esau is an enemy.
Listen, the Most High, that's right, brother. And the Most High said, listen, You just be patient. He gonna get that get back for us.
He loved Jacob, he hated Esau.
That's right, brother. Go ahead.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 33.
Right.
So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are.
Yeah, get that on camera. We should not pollute the land where we are, right? Go ahead.
For blood, it defileth the
Why
land.
you let go? For what?
For blood, it defileth the land.
And guess what? Mr. White Man shed a lot of blood
Right.
across this earth. Not only here, he shed a lot. He shed blood all throughout the earth. That man shed blood everywhere. For blood, it defileth the land. This nigga was holding on to the inside of his pants.
Hey,
And then when I say get that on camera, he gonna let go. This is why y'all need to give me hold that real quick. Give me Psalms 37 and 1. Give me Psalms 37 and 1. Say, we keep telling y'all about these peoples, man. We keep telling y'all about these peoples. These peoples is deaf to our people.
yep.
Read.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 1. Fret not thyself because of evildoers.
Don't fret yourself because of evildoers. Them is evildoers right there.
Right.
Our people love to follow these